You know, it's a little embarrassing to tell you this story, but in August or thereabouts in 1999, I was living in Tucson, Arizona. I'd gone to bed like any other night, getting a good night's sleep, hopefully, but around 4 or 4:30, something like that, in the morning, before sunrise, somebody or something stood at the foot of my bed, woke me up and said, "Luke 21:36. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why somebody would say that to me. It was a man's voice. But I couldn't see them, and I said, ignore that. And the second time the voice came here stronger, and it was standing at the foot of my bed. I could tell where that was, and he said, "Luke 21:36, very insistently. Now, I'm embarrassed to say I was so tired at 4 or 4:30 in the morning. I thought, I'll do that. I'll read it later when I get up. Good idea. It's a good one. I'll read that one later. And I turned over to go back to sleep. And he came around the side of the bed and stood by my head, and he said a third and final time, "Luke 21:36. And it was as if he was trying to get me up to read it and perhaps talk to me about it. But for some unknown reason, I didn't do that. I just said, "I'm so tired. I promise you, when I get up, I will read it." Now that's lame as can be, but that's exactly what happened. He left. I went back to sleep. When I woke up, I got my Bible. I remembered the encounter during the night, the foot of my bed, the side of the bed. So I got up and I opened my Bible to Luke 21:36. And it says, "Watch therefore and pray always that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things and to stand before the Son of Man." I was like, wow, Jesus is talking about in that passage about his second coming. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I missed it. I missed it. And there's something I want you to notice about that. Two very important things. He says, watch and pray. Now, a whole lot of people aren't watching and they're not praying. They're just going through life not paying attention to anything. But then there's a lot of people that are watching very intently, focusing on the news events, the volcanoes in Russia or the tsunamis or the wars around the world and all those things that are happening. Very real threats, wars and rumors of wars like Jesus talked about. Those things are happening and they're paying attention to that. But maybe they're not praying very much. Or, on the other hand, sometimes they're just praying, but they're not really paying attention. And what Jesus is saying is watch and pray. Why? Because it's in the praying that you hear God, so you know how to respond to what you're seeing. Listen, the last video I sent out was a guest at Stacy McCann's Stronger Faith Ministries. That video on my little tiny YouTube station, if you will, my channel, had over 100,000 views. It really awakened me to the fact that people are hungry for the supernatural in their life, in their job, in their business. I didn't realize just how hungry people are for it. And so I created something called supernaturalbusiness.com. If you'll go there, you can register to join me every other week on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. The next one is Thursday, August the 7th. It's free. It's a free class. I'm going to be doing training for the foreseeable future and introducing people to the realm of the supernatural in their life and in their work, in their business. I'm going to be talking about that and teaching on that. I got a lot of things. In fact, if you go to the page supernaturalbusiness.com, you'll see I've got open in front of me right here. How to know the voice of God and make better decisions. That's coming this Thursday night. You don't want to miss that. Next one is how to be led by the Spirit and walk with confidence. The one after that I'm really excited about because it's how to tap into divine imagination for a huge advantage over AI. I got so much to share with you, but I didn't realize there was such an interest in these topics because you see, the realm of the supernatural is really modeled in the Old Testament. Moses had a blueprint. We call it the Tabernacle of Moses. And it had 3 levels, level 1, 2, and 3, outer court, inner court, and Holy of Holies. The outer court was all about naturally observable practices. The inner court was about the Holy Spirit in opening up and putting light, if you will, on the scriptures to give you God's strategy. But the Holy of Holies was the realm of the supernatural. Because you see, the outer court was illuminated by natural daylight. The inner court was illuminated by a solid gold lampstand that was burning oil continuously. It's a picture of the Holy Spirit, and it was illuminating the bread, which of course is the Word. And it was doing it. But level 3 There were no candles. There was no windows. There was no natural light. It was illuminated by the supernatural presence of God. For the next, I don't know how long, as long as God permits, I'm going to be teaching on that every other Thursday night, free of charge, 8 p.m. If you're interested in that at all, I invite you to come register. You'll get a link. You'll get a free book, by the way, 7 ways to know and hear God's voice for your life and business. That's free when you go there. So anyway, just want to make you aware of that. And I've got so much to share. The visitations, when Jesus has come beside me at the bedside, or other encounters I've had, and in business, I think you're going to find them pretty inspirational. And it's just my response to what I see God doing in the marketplace. He's showing me that, actually my wife actually pointed it out, how hungry people are for the supernatural. They want God. They want the real thing. And if that's you and you want to have part of that, then go to supernaturalbusiness.com, register. I look forward to seeing you this Thursday night and as many other Thursday nights as you're able to make. All right. God bless you and thanks for watching.